Okay, so I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. Everybody's been talking about the drones and stuff. I kind of wanted to pop on there and share some things that I have learned. Now, there's quite a few things floating around out there. Everybody's got all these stories, they got all these videos and stuff, but some of the things that you may or may not know about. For one, there is the FAA Reauthorization Act of 2018. Now, in here, it talks about a lot of different things. It's a 463 page document. You can find it by going to congress.gov and just looking up what's the name of this thing here? Public Law 115-254, October 5th, 2008, the FAA Reauthorization Act of 2018. You should be able to find it pretty easy. I did. Now, another thing that a lot of people has brought up is Project Bluebeam. Now, Project Bluebeam is kind of a conspiracy thing. Project Bluebeam is basically, from what I understand of it, it's a conspiracy theory where the government supposedly creates this coup or whatever of, mock invasion from aliens or whatever, in order to kind of create a bunch of hysteria. And eventually the idea is it would overthrow the government and they could install a new government and whatever their views might be on that. I have a hard time with that one because I think it's really a stretch. But this Authorization Act, I think it's worth a read. It's a lot to read. Honestly, I haven't even read the whole thing myself. It's a lot to read. Now, I did come across a news story that I want to share with you. I found snippets of this kind of all over the place, but the best place that I found was Daily Mail, which I'm not a Daily Mail fan. I think a lot of their news is skewed and full of bullshit. But this is kind of interesting. I'm going to show you this picture here, and I don't know that it's going to show up here. I may have to actually put it in. So I don't know if you could see that or not. Hopefully it's not too terribly blurry. There we go. Okay. So that picture right there is a picture of... Let me get back to it here. That's a picture that was taken on the 17th of December this year. And that is an installation. Well, let me back up here a little bit and explain the story. So the story reads as follows. Uncovered files reveal secret operation at the center of drone invasion and why the White House can deny it. So official reports show that the Army has been developing and testing counterterrorism drones in Jersey for years and claims of a government cover-up. Okay, a lot of people know about that. I've heard about that several times, and I understand why they won't say anything and this and that. I get that. In 2018, a contract was awarded $50 million to private robotics company to develop craft capable in creating 3D image maps of urban areas for a counter weapons of mass destruction program. Okay, that's a little scary, but probably necessary. I can understand that. Okay. The contract was given out by the Army's Army Research Development and Engineering Center, which is RDEC, which is located in Picatinny Arsenal in Rockaway, New Jersey. It makes a lot of sense, right? Or at least with the drone information, right? There's documents that show the Federal Aviation Administration, which is the FAA, issued an air restriction alert for November 21st prohibiting flights over Picatinny Base for special security reasons through December 26th. Now, why would they do that? The special security reasons would be, whatever. You got a president flying through, you got a diplomatic person in the area, whatever. There's all kinds of reasons why they would, do that and restrict it and all that kind of stuff. Now, there's a lot of reasons as to why they would do and say what they're doing. Okay, yeah, I get that. The White House has claimed the drone sightings, which coincidentally began on November 18, are not a foreign adversary, pose no threat, and are not part of U.S. military operation. Okay, technically, if they gave this contract away like that, technically they wouldn't be wrong, because they contracted somebody and it's not the military and it's not a foreign adversary. Yeah, so technically they could be right. There's a retired CIA intelligence officer they interviewed, Rudy Ridolfi. Okay, that's where this source comes from. Matt Sloan is the founder of drone consulting firm AI Skyware. He told Daily Mail that the sightings could be a contractor developing these drones for the Department of Defense. Okay, kind of along that same thread. I get that. The DOT can deny claims of third-party technologies if the drones were placed on a secure tech list for contract disclosures, which means the government is applying for special restrictions to the information. Okay, a lot of that makes sense. Now, it doesn't make sense as an American. You know, you're sitting here thinking, like, why would they lie to me, this and that? Okay, these are questions that, you know, I have no answers for. The federal government constantly lies to everybody. Some of it's justified, some of it's not. I mean, that's just kind of how everything works. I get that. There's been sightings as far over, at least I'm looking at the map, on the East Coast side, as far over as like Indiana, close to Indianapolis. And the thing that bothers me is a story I read about how these drones are testing an exercise to locate radioactive material in Colorado. What? Okay, maybe there is some out there, whatever we don't know about, but those are the kind of things that kind of bothers me, because I want to know about those things, and I don't know about anything, at least that I'm aware of, that would be out there, unless it's some, you know, old testing, you know, bomb or whatever that they were working on, or some power plant or something like that. I don't know. It's a good question. Let me see what else the story has to say here. Okay, the government contract was awarded to Maryland-based company Robotics Research. Okay. See if there's anything else in here of kind of importance that you need to know. The drones have flashing, steady white or red and green lights. Okay, and this one does talk about Colorado too. So the drones in Colorado were also rumored to be sniffing for missing radioactive material, which has been a theory in the Garden State. Why is it missing? Yeah, there's a lot of different things. They're talking about gas detectors and all this kind of stuff on here. There's so much that you can read in this here. And again, if you go to Daily Mail and just type out, you know, the drone stuff, you'll find the story pretty easily. That's how I found it. But there's a lot of things like that I can kind of give a little justification to. It's not like our government doesn't hide things from us now. They hide stuff about aliens. They hide stuff about, you know, any kind of cryptid stuff. Am I a full believer in all those things? No. But I do think something is there, and I do think that something has been there. I do think that, you know, they know a lot more than what we do, and that's, you know, on purpose, by design. And some of that I understand, you know, security reasons, all that kind of stuff. I totally get it. But some of the things that I think everybody should really be questioning is, how much information do you want your government to keep from you? Is it important for them to keep things like that from you? In my mind, this just looks like another something that they paid for, that they're trying to develop, and that's it. I mean, think back to like the stealth bombers and stuff like that. You know, all that stuff was being done in secrecy. The Philadelphia Project, all that stuff, you know. Everything, you know, including atomic energy and stuff, all that stuff was all super secretive, you know. They even created a town and a basin or whatever for all these people to live at. I mean, it's not out of reach. And there could be something that we don't know about. Okay. This means that your government's actually doing their job, which I have a hard time with, because a lot of times I think they don't do their job. But I'm looking at the small scope of things too. Obviously, I don't have the resources and the steady information that they get, you know, to make an informed decision, which I think is kind of the point here, guys. So I think a lot of people's jumping to stuff. I did watch a couple really good videos. I'm going to shout them out here. Mindseed TV had a really good one about these drones. Omar Gosh had a really good one about these drones too. And you know, they're just like everybody else. They're curious. They want to know what it is, all this kind of stuff, you know. And those are channels that I watch. I'm sure there's others. But you know, my take on all this kind of stuff is, you know, it's probably not something to really worry too much about, at least as of right now. That doesn't mean that couldn't change. That doesn't mean that I'm wrong. You know, I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know. It's just one of those things that you should really take with a grain of salt. Kind of look at it, analyze it a little bit, see what you think fits, and go from there. So, guys, if you like stuff like this, I'm going to try to get some new stuff coming out here. Stuff like this, I'm still working on my format, as you could tell. This one here, I just kind of wanted to get the information out, so I don't really have anything, you know, ready to rock and roll as far as like clips and things like that. YouTube is really funny about how you present other people's media and what you do with it. So I'm still looking into a lot of that stuff. I don't want to get in trouble. You know, we have a pretty good channel here with all of our paranormal stuff, but I do like to dive into UFOs and things like that. I've got a lot of things that I'm interested in, a lot of theories that I have myself, a lot of paranormal theories. I'd love to start getting into stuff like that with you guys and just kind of do a little video every once in a while. So if it's something that you like, comment down below. Or if it's something that you want to talk about related to this drone topic, comment down below. We'll get everybody talking, and you know, maybe some clear heads can kind of put a little bit of light on this subject here and see if we can figure it out. I appreciate everybody watching, and again, I'm going to do more of these. I don't know when, and I don't know what the format's going to be yet, but it's something I'm kind of working on, so I hope you guys like it.